Hi, I'm over to TheAllSeeingCam. We back to the channel with another one. Today's not good news. We're here to share some news about Sheff G, Sleepy Hallow, and the rest of the guys. If you haven't seen the news, which I'm sure you have already, it happened a couple days ago. Sheff G was charged with a couple different criminal acts. Same for the rest of the 8 trays. It's looking bad, bro. He was about to come out. I was happy. Sleepy just came out. They brought him right back in. That's crazy. Super sad to see, but all we can do is pray for the best. Let's see the information, a little bit deeper dive. I haven't had time to look into what's actually happening, so that'll help us out a bit more. Let's go into ABC News and see what they're talking about. What is going on with this 30 gang member crackdown? Bro, they not letting us be great. They're not letting us be great. I'm telling you guys, Afro, Dembow, reggaeton, international sounds, all that's taking over because all the greatest rappers are either getting popped, old, or they going to jail. And if you from New York, 90% of the time you going to jail. You rapping some gangster shit, you going to jail. They not playing over here. I had a meme that always had me thinking like, nah, they not capping. This was probably made by like a white suburban kid, but he wasn't capping. He said, yo, Rikers Island right now is litter than Summer Jam, bro. It's litter than Summer Jam. It's jumping like Jordan in there. Crazy. All right, let's go through this. New York rapper Sheff G charged in series of shootings. Not good news at all. Siri, do your job. What's going on? This is making no sense.
A successful rapper used earnings from his music career to promote gun violence in Brooklyn. Prosecutors alleged Tuesday Michael Williams, known as Sheff G, is among 32 purported street gang members charged Tuesday in a series of shootings in Brooklyn that left one person dead and a dozen more injured. According to the indictment, the defendants are all members of 8 Trey Crips and its affiliate, the Nine Ways Gang, and allegedly committed shootings, possessed guns and used stolen cars to eliminate rivals that included members of Folk Nation Gangster Disciples and ICG Baby-IS. More, rapper Young Thug files fourth motion for bond as he awaits trial in RICO indictment. The indictment covers 27 alleged acts of violence, including 12 shootings. The senseless gun violence allegedly committed by these defendants terrorized our neighbors for years and left more than a dozen people with serious injuries. It is distressing to know that some of the violence was allegedly fueled by a young man who used money he made from a successful music career to allegedly pay for and encourage acts of violence. Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez said Williams offered money and expensive jewelry to those who carried out acts of violence. Prosecutors said the indictment also outlined one shooting in which Williams allegedly coordinated a group of 3 shooters, drove those shooters to the crime scene, and then acted as the getaway driver.
They got the mugshot up here of Sheff G. What's sick is people were like, oh shit, Sheff G was arrested. Hold on, I thought he was already in jail. Nah, they took him out of jail to bring him back to bookings. I didn't even know if it worked that way. I was like, that is wild. But they're saying they got mad dirt on the boys. We're gonna go over some information too and little evidence we've seen online so far, but it's not looking good for them.
Williams was expected to appear in court on Tuesday. It was not immediately clear who his attorney is. One of the charges stems from a mass shooting on October 21st, 2020, where one defendant, Commander DeCatu, is allegedly captured on surveillance video emerging from the sunroof of a white Infiniti and opening fire while other individuals fired guns from the driver's side and rear driver's side windows. An alleged Folk Nation rival, Theodore Sr., 23, was killed and 5 other alleged Folk Nation members were shot and injured. DeCatu is charged with the murder, and his co-conspirators, including Williams and his sister, Crystal Williams, are charged with being part of the conspiracy to commit.
They got Chef's sister?
And others.
Nah, that's crazy. They even got his sister wrapped into this shit. That's wild. All right, let's just see what last little bit of information is left here.
2 days after the homicide, Michael Williams allegedly hosted a lavish dinner with his fellow 8 Trey Crips and 9 Ways members, including Tegan Chambers, at a Manhattan steakhouse to celebrate the death of Theodore Sr. and the injuries of the 5 other shooting victims. Sheff G became a prominent member of this gang and became central to our investigation, Gonzalez said during a news conference. Sheff G used a lot of the money that he earned to facilitate further gang activity. He encouraged gang members to participate in violent crimes.
If you guys were confused the whole time with Michael Williams is Sheff G's government name. Also, you guys probably been hearing this all throughout social media, as I have. They keep bringing up the steakhouse. This must have been the best steak in New York City, because they keep talking about this steakhouse. Like, nah, it wasn't just any steakhouse. Sheff G took the goons to one of Manhattan's best steakhouse. I don't know which one it is. If you guys happen to know the name of which one it is, let me know down below. Let me know down below. And I've seen him also saying the same thing as well. Sheff G used a lot of his money to promote gang and to keep funding the gang, to keep doing shit that they was doing. Also, the mayor of New York City was like, yo, he wasn't just any kind of rapper. It wasn't like he was trying to come up. He was trying to let them dudes know, like, Sheff G's one of those. Sheff G's one of those. Multiple gold albums and singles. He even named properties that he had within the tri-state area. I was like, oh, they've really been watching. I also heard somewhere else, I forgot exactly how long it was, but they were doing this investigation for a while. You guys be thinking you get away with shit. Gangsters always be doing shit like, oh, we got away with it. Nah, they building a RICO on your dumb ass. They building a RICO. Y'all about to get hit with the shit you did for the last 8 years all at once. All at once, just so they can make sure you do the rest of ever. Not for a minute. The rest of ever. The rest of ever. Add a 4 in front of ever, and that's a long time. Shout out to Bernie. Sheff G Sleepy Hallow arrest report came out, would feed his team with steak dinners. I'm telling you, that's every caption. We also got that steak dinner right in there after alleged shootings funding from rap career. That's crazy. Imagine Sheff didn't even pay their bill. Imagine Sheff didn't even pay their bill. They all paid their own bill. And they keep talking about this nigga took out his gang members to a steakhouse dinner like a fine date. Like, nah, I don't like that. If I was one of the dudes, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Words of 42 million YouTube views.
Sheff G used a lot of the money that he earned to help facilitate further gang activity.
Prosecutors say that includes this mass shooting in Brooklyn.
Oh, that's the one that we just heard about right there. The one that they said that the dude that got charged jumped out the top of the white Infinity. So this is where they went to go celebrate after they said this shooting. Rest in peace, Theodore. Young man. But you see hands coming out the side of the window. And you see the dude that they talked about in the report popping out the top of the sunroof in that white Infinity.
Where one person was killed, 5 others injured. District Attorney Eric Gonzalez said Sheff G ordered the hit and then, as a reward, ordered up a fancy dinner at a Manhattan steakhouse.
Sheff G takes the shooters from this incident and some other gang members for a very lavish, expensive steak dinner where they celebrate the score against their rival.
Of a violent gang taken off the streets and the 2 famous rappers who could be looking at serious prison time. Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Brandon Novini in for Adam Cooperstein, and prosecutors say...
What's crazy about all this is that Sheff G was in the lineup for Miami's Rolling Loud, and I kept saying like, oh shit, Chef's coming out then. He has to be coming out if he's in the lineup for Miami. Miami's not too long. That shit's like, what, July 24th? And I'm like, so that means he's about to come out any minute now. And then they hit him with this, like, oh Lord, that shit must really be a heartbreaker for real. Like, you really think you coming home, and then they hit you with some shit like this.
Those gang members shot at rivals in broad daylight and then bragged about it on social media. At the center of it all, 2 well-known rappers from Brooklyn. Rappers Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow are accused of helping carry out violence against rival gang members in Flatbush and Crown Heights. Police say they are members...
More information on this though. 32 members were charged, 140 counts in this indictment, 12 shootings and 1 murder. And I'm assuming that 1 murder is one that they talked about right now, that Theodore, when they jumped out the top of the sunroof that we just saw the video.
Alleged gang members charged today in a 140-count indictment. The DA saying the gang is linked to 12 shootings and 1 murder, which was caught on camera.
Damn.
So that's everybody you see running in the back. Cause we saw the side of them shooting. We didn't know who they were shooting at. Alright, so look at this. Just mad people posted up on the block. And they just start hearing the fireworks going on.
Everybody started scattering. I see now. A handful of people fell.
Investigators say this is one of the gang's crimes, a deadly drive-by shooting where the suspects pulled up and started firing at rival gang members. People start to run down the streets at the top of your screen there.
1 person was killed in this incident.
They said allegedly, I think it was DJ Academics. Allegedly, the car that they're jumping in right here is a Jeep Trackhawk that's tied back to Sheff G.
5 others injured. News 4's Mark Santia is live at the Brooklyn waterfront, and Mark, prosecutors are saying that this gang violence stretched even beyond Brooklyn.
Yeah, Rihanna, prosecutors say this alleged gang was known in Brooklyn, Manhattan, and New Jersey. From gold records to silver handcuffs, police arresting rappers Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow. Investigators say the men, along with 30 other alleged gang members, orchestrated and wreaked havoc across the area.
Yeah, man.
Small-time rappers.
As a fan of music, as a fan of hip-hop, as a fan of New York hip-hop, the game, Brooklyn really died down again. If we've been seeing everybody in Brooklyn either getting locked up or passing away, Brooklyn's music really died down. Yeah, Fabi's still out here going crazy, but Fabi's so commercial now that it's like, do we really still tie that with Brooklyn drill and all that? Come on.
Sleepy Hallow.
On 1 song, upwards of 125 million YouTube views.
Fire.
Sheff G, upwards of 42 million YouTube views.
Sheff G used a lot of the money that he earned to help facilitate further gang activity.
Prosecutors say that includes this mass shooting in Brooklyn, where 1 person was killed, 5 others injured. District Attorney Eric Gonzalez said Sheff G.
Oh, jokes aside, that's why these niggas always say everybody but they target. Like, did you see how inaccurate?
I don't even know where each bullet went, but you can tell that what he was shooting at, unless that was their target, that dude, but bro, he just had the gun out the sunroof dumping. He comes at the end just to make sure he hears some shit like, I think I see somebody fall. Drive off, like.
That was nuts.
Further gang activity.
Prosecutors
Bro, look at
say
this.
that includes this mass shooting in Brooklyn.
By the time he already out here, he's already letting go of the whole
5 others
shit.
injured. District Attorney Eric Gonzalez said Sheff G ordered the hit and then, as a reward, ordered up a fancy dinner at a Manhattan steakhouse.
Sheff G takes the shooters from this incident and some other gang members for a very lavish, expensive steak dinner where they celebrate the score against their rivals.
And it's wild how he says the score too, like he up on that, like he know the
Other
scoreboard.
gangs, leaving several people injured, including innocent New Yorkers caught in the crossfire.
We are not going to give up. We're not going to surrender our streets to violence.
No longer will these 32 individuals shoot their guns in the streets of New York City, and we, as a city, are safer for that.
The focus of today's press conference, Sheff G.
This is not an indictment about rap music. In fact, this investigation did not rely on a single lyric to prove any of the alleged crimes, but it is an indictment of how, when someone does well for themselves and could do real good in our community, they use their fame and they use their money to further gang violence.
If Sheff G is convicted, he could spend up to 25 years in prison.
Holy snap.
That's crazy. See, I did not know that at all. Up to 25 years alone. We do hear them always say crazy numbers in the beginning. I feel like a lot of times it's just to make them plead guilty or to fear and start talking about the other guys and say, no, I didn't really do it though. It was him. Like he took, because we always see them like D-Thang. They were saying like 160 years for D-Thang allegedly. And then we end up seeing that D-Thang got 3. Like, thank God for the lawyer though. That's for sure. And he's coke boy. So I'm saying his situation might be a little bit different. Actually, no, it's not. His Sheff is signed as well. Yeah, he's not signed to French, but he signed directly to the label. So it shouldn't be too crazy. But I would lie to you not if I tell you that's not sad to see. Dudes from our neighborhoods making it out. And then making it out into shit like this always comes out at the end. I'm not gonna hold you. Breaks my heart, for real. It really breaks my heart.
A successful rapper from Brooklyn is accused of using his music career to bankroll gang violence. Authorities arrested rapper Sheff G, whose real name is Michael Williams.
Yeah, they got them
He's
looking
charged
crazy in
along
this
with
one.
rappers Sleepy Hallow and 30 other reputed gang members in connection with a series of shootings, one of them deadly. Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett is in downtown Brooklyn.
Nah, I was just checking if they were showing. I was trying to find a video of a shooting.
Happens next happens on surveillance video. A white sedan rolls up on the gang's headquarters, and
So this is how they got there.
blast
Alright, that
the
makes
streets
sense.
with bullets from the window.
Oh shit. They shooting from all 3 windows. You can see the muzzle letting off flames off the driver, the back passenger, and the sunroof. So all 3 of them are letting off. That makes sense on how so many people got hit.
And the sunroof. One man is seen falling to the ground as everyone scatters. 30 shots are fired, 5 are wounded, and 1 man is killed. An accomplice blocks the street with a stolen SUV to allow the getaway car to escape.
That's wild. This wasn't even the video I was looking for. I was looking for the Trackhawk one, but that's wild. That's smooth too on some crazy shit, like block off the thing, stop traffic so he don't gotta sit there and wait. That's crazy.
Just a few days later,
In a stolen whip too, so now they can track back and who's in that car.
from this incident and some other gang members for a very lavish, expensive steak dinner where they celebrate
that
the
steak
score
dinner.
against their rivals.
Williams is just one of 32 people charged with various counts of murder, attempted murder,
So that's them taking the guys out right now from prison to give them additional charges.
That's
conspiracy,
terrible.
and assault in an investigation
That's his sister right there, I'm assuming.
goes back nearly 3 years.
These are
Damn,
subjects
bro.
that woke up and lived every single day with one objective. And that.
Right there, Crystal Williams, aka Chrissy, that's his sister right there. That's sad to see for real, bro. Having a little sister myself, I would never want to drag her into my own craziness. But sometimes that's what comes with the lifestyle. And not sometimes, 92% of the time. I was just checking if there was any other videos or anything good that we could see.
Yet despite his fame and fortune, or perhaps because of it, investigators say Williams was willing to risk everything.
He's trending. He's making bones for himself. He has the respect of the entire neighborhood.
And is feared by others. And a lot of individuals let that dictate their actions.
All we can do is pray for the situation, for those that are hurt by the actions, those incriminated in the actions as well. It's looking like bad news if you're a fan of the rap duos Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow, as I am myself. I'm not gonna lie to you, but sometimes it's more than music. And it's like, when will we learn? Sometimes we make the money to get ourselves out of these situations, out of these neighborhoods, and we continue to involve ourselves, and actually it's hard to get yourself away from it in a game like hip hop, because a lot of times being in those street ties are what got you in that position in the first place. So it's like, it's hard to turn your back on all that. So I totally understand. I wouldn't be the first to start screaming, he should have just moved to Connecticut and never spoke to them again. It's not how the shit works. It's not how the rap game works. Comment down below. More information comes out about this. I will update you guys. As soon as trial or anything else happens, I will let you guys know. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below. We are on the road to 10K. Subscribe. And like I love to say, until the next one, we're out of here.